I wanted to test the Model Y out now that it's dark. I feel like these matrix headlights, even though they don't actually matrix yet, are super bright compared to my Model X. Oh, there's some auto. We'll see if it, see how it reacts here. I mean, I haven't used this since I bought the car. I took auto off because it was just so bad. But like I said, you know, recent updates, plus when they replaced this windshield, we're just going to say that they did because I don't really know, and a lot of people in my last video said they think they did. So when they replaced the windshield, they recalibrated all the cameras, and I feel like even Autopilot works better now in this car. Maybe there were some updates in the month that it was gone, and that was the reason it works better. I don't know. But I just wanted to see how good does the auto high beams work. Technically, there was a van back there. There was no one in it, but that could have triggered it to dim. So I'm not gonna blame it on that one. I also slowed down, so that may have had something. No, this is not. So Ram, if you go under 20 miles per hour, they automatically dim. For Tesla, you can come to a complete stop and they won't dim. So never mind, don't count that. So far, I mean, like I said, first bought this car. Actually, it was the other car, the gray one, and put it on auto and drove this exact route. We flicked like 20 times. I think it was 24 was the amount of times we counted from leaving the house to the curve down here. So far, no complaints. I mean, I also haven't seen any cars yet, but yeah, I just want to really test out the auto high beams. My mom drives this car most of the time, and she never drives at night, so it's not going to hurt a single thing to leave it on auto high beams because she'll never even use the lights anyway. Okay, yep, it dimmed. That's pretty good. I can't complain about that. And right back up. Oh, here comes another car. Will it dim? There it did. Wow, that's way better than it used to be. So yeah, no complaints. And these headlights are so much brighter, and they're dim. I like that. You know, it's it's strange to just ask for basic things like that. But another thing I want to test out. Here's Autopilot. Now let's kill high beam. You know, that works just fine. I was watching a video the other day about a guy who bought a new Model Y, and he was complaining about how he couldn't put the car in autopilot and turn off the auto high beams. It would kick him out of autopilot. I've never seen that. I don't know if that's new. I don't know if that's coming with a new update or what the issue is there. But I've never had that issue, and we are in autopilot. I have killed the auto high beams, and she's driving a little fast right now. And there's a cop. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, nonetheless on that, seems to be working pretty well. We're still in autopilot. I'm going to try to kill the speed a little here because we're going into a lower speed limit. Yeah, no complaints. And I did buy enhanced autopilot, so we put the signal on. Yep, moves right over like it's no big deal. This car has enhanced autopilot, and yeah, this is looking good. No complaints. Now, obviously, we're not on auto high beams anymore because, you know, we're in the city. We really don't need that. But I'm going to kill autopilot because I can drive, and there's usually people. I mean, honestly, it'd probably be more safe in autopilot. There's usually people that like to cross right there, especially in the middle of the night wearing complete black, and you know. I think autopilot would have probably seen them before I did, but you know, when in doubt, take it out. It's not my motto, but anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to talk about that. We'll jump back up on auto high beams when I get out of the city here. You know, I'm struggling to find problems with this car. There's nothing wrong with it. I love it. And if it wasn't $75,000 now, I would consider trading my X in on another one of these and just have maybe a blue Model Y. You know, like, you build trust with a company. Like, you know, I bought my first Model Y and there was relatively no problems. It was a nice car. So we're going to go back to auto here. We're not out of the city yet, but I'm going to try it. It was a relatively nice car, but, you know, I had my gripes about the full self-driving features that I had paid for. And then I traded it or sold it and then ended up buying this one. And I griped about not having radar, but, you know, it's taken them over a year and they've got that working now, so no big deal. And I built that trust. I was like, you know, these really aren't bad cars, and this car was like $67,000 as configured, with the wide interior, with the performance, you know, with everything that I added to it. And that wasn't a bad deal in my opinion. Now the same car as configured is around 75. I think it's 74 or something. So I don't really want to spend extra money if I don't have to. You know, it's hard to get rid of a car that may only be worth 140. Okay, we're getting a little flicker here, but I think that's because of just, you know, we still got all the street lights and everything. I'd hate to take a car that is probably only worth about 140 now and trade it for a car that's, you know, going to be 75 for the same car that I got, you know, a year ago for 67. And then I've got less than 60 left over. I mean, you know, time you pay taxes and all that, that's not going to be good. I don't like that. I wanted to have half. I wanted to have half the money left over and half the money go toward whatever I'm driving. And it's just so tempting to not want to get I'm not sure if I worded that right. It's tempting to get the Mustang Mach-E because of, you know, it qualifies for the $7,000 rebate. You know, as configured, I think it came to 65, so then you knock 7 off of that and you're, you know, cheaper than I paid for this one. Yeah, it's not going to be nearly as fast. It's not going to be probably as nice, but there are some upsides. You know, the car does have things that Tesla no longer has, like ultrasonic sensors we're now facing. But yeah, it'll probably work in a year or two, but right now you're getting to be the test dummy for that, and I don't like that. Just like, you know, when I bought this car and it didn't have radar, I got to be the test dummy for that. I really didn't like that. But yeah, a year later, it doesn't seem to be an issue now. And the auto high beams don't seem to be an issue, even though it doesn't have a light sensor. We may even, in the next 10 minutes here, get to test out night driving in the rain, because it's supposed to start raining. And, I mean, I feel like auto wipers work pretty well too now, which was not the case a year ago. So, who knows? I'm having way too many problems with the X that I don't want to keep it anymore. It's a nice car. It turns a lot of heads, you know. I mean, that's kind of half the reason you buy a car like that. It's a good car overall. See, now, that car's got really dim lights. And I didn't even realize that was a car and the car dimmed. That's interesting. I mean, you know, I thought it was like a construction thing or something for a second, and then I realized it's a car. Anyway, so yeah, even the headlights are brighter on this one. This car is a year older than my Model X. Like, that's insult to injury right there. So, but paint problems, seat problems, I mean, I paid way too much money for that car for it to be having issues. And I was under the understanding that, you know, the two Model Ys that I had already owned were really solid cars without problems. And I was thinking, you know, maybe they've worked out the problems that everybody's had over the years. Maybe I'm safe to go ahead and spend that kind of money on a Model X. And then I get it, and it's like, oh wow, this car's got a lot of problems. And I can overlook a lot of things, you know, if the doors are misaligned or whatever. Like that's stuff that can be fixed relatively easily. You know, when I bought the car, the satellite radio didn't work. Needed a new antenna. No big deal. Took it to them. Had to make 2 trips, which sucked, but they replaced the antenna for free. All good. Works great now. The windshield wiper was misaligned, and it was rubbing the hood every time you used the wipers. So they came and told me, actually they told me the wiper was broke and needed to be replaced, but he like bent on it for like 20 minutes and said, okay, that'll work. And it's like, okay. So that's fixed. I mean, technically it's not rubbing anymore. That was the concern. So yeah, there's that. And then you know, little things like that can be fixed. But when you start talking about paint, that it's gonna have to be repainted for these little spots that the paint was just too thin. I mean, that's unacceptable. So yeah. All right. Okay, bye.